incest, adoption, clan, or lineage. The incest taboo is one of the most widespread of all cultural taboos, both in present and in past societies. Most modern societies have laws regarding incest or social restrictions on closely consanguineous marriages. In societies where it is illegal, consensual adult incest is seen by some as a victimless crime. Some cultures extend the incest taboo to relatives with no consanguinity, such as milk siblings, step siblings, and adoptive siblings, albeit sometimes with less intensity. Third-degree relatives on average have 12.5% common genetic heritage, and sexual relations between them are viewed differently in various cultures, from being discouraged to being socially acceptable. Children of incestuous relationships have been regarded as illegitimate, and are still so regarded in some societies today. In most cases, the parents did not have the option to marry to remove that status, as incestuous marriages were, and are, normally also prohibited. A common justification for prohibiting incest is avoiding inbreeding, a collection of genetic disorders suffered by the children of parents with a close genetic relationship. Such children are at greater risk for congenital disorders, death, and developmental and physical disability, and that risk is proportional to their parents' coefficient of relationship, a measure of how closely the parents are related genetically. But cultural anthropologists have noted that inbreeding avoidance cannot form the sole basis for the incest taboo, because the boundaries of the incest prohibition vary widely between cultures, and not necessarily in ways that maximize the avoidance of inbreeding. In some societies, such as those of ancient Egypt, brother-sister, father-daughter, mother-son, cousin-cousin, aunt-nephew, uncle-niece, and other combinations of relations within a royal family were married as a means of perpetuating the royal lineage. Some societies have different views about what constitutes illegal or immoral incest, however. Sexual relations with a first-degree relative are almost universally forbidden. The English word incest is derived from the Latin incestus, which has a general meaning of impure, unchaste. It was introduced into Middle English, both in the generic Latin sense and in the narrow modern sense. The derived adjective incestuous appears in the 16th century, before the Latin term came in. Incest was known in Old English as sib ledger or marghimed, but in time, both words fell out of use. Terms like incestor and ancestral have been used to describe those interested or involved in sexual relations with relatives among humans, while inbreeder has been used in relation to similar behavior among non-human animals or organisms. Other words that describe sexual attraction to relatives include consanguinophilia, consanguinamary, synogenesophilia, incestuality, and incestophilia. In ancient China, first cousins with the same surnames were not permitted to marry, while those with different surnames could marry. Several of the Egyptian pharaohs married their siblings and had several children with them. For example, Tutankhamun married his half-sister Ankhesengun, and was himself the child of an incestuous union between Akhenaten and an unidentified sister wife. Several scholars, such as Fryer et al., state that sibling marriages were widespread among all classes in Egypt during the Greco-Roman period. Numerous papyri and the Roman census declarations attest to many husbands and wives being brother and sister, of the same father and mother. However, it has also been argued that available evidence does not support the view such relations were common. The most famous of these relationships were in the Ptolemaic royal family. Cleopatra VII was married to her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, while her mother and father, Cleopatra V and Ptolemy XII, had also been brother and sister. Arsinoe II and her younger brother, Ptolemy II Philadelphus, were the first in the family to participate in a full sibling marriage. A departure from custom, a union between children of the same parents, was unheard of in both Greek and Macedonian tradition. So it evidently caused some degree of astonishment. The Alexandrian poet Sotides was put to death for criticizing the wicked nature of the marriage, while his contemporary Theocritos more politically compared it to the relationship of Zeus with his older sister, Hera. Ptolemy and his sister wife, Arsinoe, put emphasis on their incestuous union through their mutual adoption of the epithet Philadelphos. They were the first full sibling royal couple in the kingdom's known history to produce a child, Ptolemy V, and for the subsequent century and more, The Ptolemies participated in full sibling unions wherever possible. It may have been observation of their next-door Ptolemaic competitors that guided the Seleucids to their own experimentations with sibling unions. The daughter of Antiochus III and Laodice II